What's up, everybody? It's Magic here with RaceNews.com, back for another edition of Dr. Miranda Previews. With me, as always, is my co-host, Dr. Miranda. How are you today?
I'm doing great. It's snowy here in Kentucky. I don't know if you probably can't see it, but I'm ready to talk about Sam Houston. I've never actually looked at this track ever before, so I pulled out all the stops. I added the power pony that I used to do in the past, and then I also talked to Mike Somich a little bit last night. He gave me some pointers, so I think we're ready to rock and roll.
Perfect, yeah, and it's the reason we're doing Sam Houston. It's a little bit of a stakes action, later stakes action this weekend, but Sam Houston is back. They have a low 12% takeout on all of their multi-race wagers. This is Saturday is going to be the last day of the 20-cent pick six. It's a jackpot pick six, so they're doing a mandatory payout. And we covered the late pick four sequence on the Magic Mike show, but to give you the full circle, we had to go to Dr. Miranda. We want to know how to start these first two legs off and try and get things going with winning combinations to start. So, if you're ready, Dr. Miranda, let's talk about Sam Houston. We're going to look at the first race of the pick six sequence, which is going to be race Race 5. Wow, race 5. Thank you. I'm glad somebody was prepared. Race 5. This is the only turf race on the card at Sam Houston, going a mile and a 16th. $25,000 claiming tag. Non-winners of 2 lifetime. Your favoritism is going to be on the number 1 Bourbon Wisdom at 8-5. Big reason for that: this horse broke its maiden at Remington Park in for no tag. He's going to have Stuart Elliott back aboard for Steve Asmussen. They hit it 52% together at Sam Houston. So very deserving favorite here. I'm curious to see where you would go in your pick six tickets here.
So in this first race, I'm going to go 3 horses deep in the ticket. And I'm actually not going to go with the morning line favorite, the number 1 Bourbon Wisdom. And no, it's not because of Mike Somich and Steve Asmussen, their enemies. But when I kept diving into this horse, there wasn't a whole lot that I liked. This horse was purchased for $100,000 at the Keeneland sales. He started off at Gulfstream, then he went to Churchill, then he went to Ellis Park, and then he went to Remington. It was just at Delta Downs in a maiden claimer at $15,000. Not to mention, he's lost to 2 of these horses in this race, and his best races are at 7.5 furlongs. This race is at 9 furlongs, and I just think overall this horse has kind of been a little bit of a disappointment. So the first horse that I want to go with is the number 2, Flexati. It's the first time on the turf, and he's been improving his Bayard each time out. He has a lot of early speed, and he beat Bourbon Wisdom 2 starts back. And something that Mike did point out to me last night is that he's going from a trainer that was 3% to a trainer that is now 18%. So I expect a big race coming out of him. The next horse I want to talk about is the number 6, Bronx Rumble. This horse was gelded and has been off for 9 months. Stidham is a 20% trainer, and not to mention, before he was running at Tampa Bay Downs, running this exact distance at optional claimers and doing pretty decent. So I think this horse has a lot of room to improve, so I expect a big race out of him as well. And the last one I want to talk about is a little bit of a long shot. It's the number 9 horse, Sunrise Kitten. I mean, the pedigree's there. It's like out of Kitten's Joy. It is a long shot. It's been claimed 5 times, and this year, I get it. But this horse has the talent. If you look back, he won at Ellis Park with Florent Giroux, but then he got sent to Kentucky Downs. Now, he hasn't won the last 2 out, but his buyers are pretty consistent. So with that said, in my pick 6 ticket in race 5, I'm going to go with the 2, the 6, and the 9.
Mike Somich, one thing that he always says about Sam Houston is the way to make money is to find the Steve Asmussen horses that you don't think are going to win, that are vulnerable. And we covered that a lot on our Pick 4 show. And you're picking up the mantle and running with it here. You're playing against the 1 Bourbon Wisdom. And listen, this is how you make a lot of money in these sequences, especially on a mandatory jackpot payout day. You beat an 8-5 favorite here. With the 9 Sunrise Kitten, you've got the Kitten's Joy, so plenty of turf pedigree there. And with the other horse you're talking about, the 2 Flexati, Shanghai Bobby's pretty sneaky with first-time turfers, so we'll see what happens there. Let's move on to the second leg of the pick 6 sequence at Sam Houston on Saturday, January 9th. Race 6 here. This is an allowance optional claimers going 5.5 furlongs on the dirt. Favoritism is going to be on the number 6, Ultimate at 2-1. Hey, look at that. It's Steve Asmussen, Stuart Elliott. We'll see if Dr. Miranda is going to play against that winning combination here in the second spot. Where are you going?
So in this race, I was watching the podcast yesterday, and I heard yesterday that you have to play speed on the sprints. So with that in mind, I'm going to go 3 deep here, and I'm going to add a 4th if you're going to do a deep ticket and just go all in. But my top pick is the number 8. This horse has finished in the money every single start. It has tons of early speed, bullet workouts, and Broberg's barn is at 20%. He has been in the stakes company in the past. So the next one I'm going to use is the number 5, Tap to the Max. He won last time out at 5.5 furlongs. He has the best buyer in this entire field. Tons of early speed, and he is by Tapiture, who is at 17% at Dirt Sprint, and the average is actually 13%. And the last must use that I'm going to use is the number 2 Lucky Promise. This horse is very consistent. Buyers each race. He got second in the Texas Futurity Stakes. Not to mention his trainer is at 24%. I think this is going to be a lot of speed in the beginning, and as long as he can hang out with the number 5 and 8, I think it could be a good run for him. And the last long shot, like I said, if you're going to use some deep tickets, I'm going to put is a number 4. This horse's debut, he won by 9 lengths and ran a 66 bar, which is okay. The speed is there. Last time out, it was 6.5 furlongs. So I think it was just a little bit too long. So I think cutting back a furlong is going to help him. I actually faded Asmussen again, the number 6. I know Mike is not fading him, but I am. I just didn't see a whole lot that I liked in that horse. So with that said, with my picks, I'm going to go with the 8, the 5, and the 2. And in really deep tickets, I'm going to add the 4.
Wow. So you're going against Elliott and Asmussen. Hey, listen, I started off my pick 4 ticket playing against Asmussen and Elliott in the first 2 legs, and it feels like you're playing with fire when you do it. But again, this is how you make money on these big days and really get a lot of value in horses, like even I'm sorry, it was the 5 horse, Tap to the Max, 3-1. I think you're going to get better value than 3-1 on that horse, and that 75 buyer for breaking the maiden that you talked about, I think is going to look really strong. So, just one last time, Dr. Miranda, real quick, tell folks who you're using in race 5 and race 6 to start off the pick 6.
So in race 5, I'm going to use 2, 6, and 9. In race 6, I'm going to use 8, 5, and 2, and add in the 4 in deep tickets.
Perfect. Good luck to everybody who's playing at Sam Houston this weekend. Make sure you check out racingdudes.com. We have free picks, premium products for all the wagering suggestions, plus this video as well as the Magic Mike Show replay covering the late pick 4 sequence. Dr. Miranda, tell the folks at home where they can follow you for all your tips and insight.
At Miranda Bungie.
Perfect. Good luck this weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week.